Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Welcome y'all to the Market Bullies. If you don't already know, it's your girl Kels.
I'm LaLa.
Oh man, y'all I gotta rename my name. Oh, now he's trying to Google me, y'all. Don't Google me. So this is our third episode. And if you haven't already done so, please go look at our first two episodes. Like them or dislike them. If you dislike them, tell us what you want us to, or what you want to see. And even if you liked it, please leave us a comment on what you liked. And go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our series.
And share it.
Oh, yes. All right. So, y'all, I put a hat on this time, and I got a picture. It might fall down, but it's up there for now.
It's a core.
It's a start. And I hate that I have all this Nike on, and I don't got no Nike stock, but that's for another day.
It's okay. Nike, it's all right.
You have some stock?
Yes.
Oh, well, add into somebody's pocket. So when we own businesses, does it become Black owned or not?
I would think so.
Okay. So we're gonna get into the weekly rundown. If you watched our first two episodes, you know how we go down what has happened in a week. And then we do deeper dives into topics that we're interested in. This week was a very bloody week. And we like bloody weeks. It hurts. However, it is a time to go shopping. So you do not lose your value of your stocks unless you sell. So I don't know if many of you panicked, but you don't panic. You panic and sell. You don't do that. You just buy more. And if you bought something at a high price and you see that it's on an extreme discount during red days or red weeks, you might want to pick some more up and you can average down. So we don't panic, baby. Someone had made the analogy of, when you go into a store, do you see and you see something on sale, do you buy it? Yes. Do the same with your stocks if you got it.
Exactly.
Do the same with your stocks.
You don't pay the MRs. What is it? Manufacturer price?
Yeah, MSR. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
Okay, so for the weekly rundown, all of the three major indices posted their worst 1 week performance since March. So it fell. The Dow Jones fell. Actually, I'm not going to even do that. Because it says, okay, I'm sorry. It fell negative 6.5% for the week. And the S&P fell 0.56 for the week. And the NASDAQ fell a little over 5% for the week. So those, even those are indices. Some stocks, individual stocks, fell more than that. Some stocks fell less than that. So again, if you have any stock, you should look at what the price for your stocks are as of Friday and see what the market does on Monday. And if it's below what you originally bought it for, you should try to pick up some more because the rain don't last forever.
That is absolutely true. There's a rainbow after the storm.
Okay. And if you're into ETFs, the ones that we like, XLY, which is a consumer discretionary, it lost 6.66%. I actually have XLY, and I have a contract on it for 2022, and I think I've been in the green since I've had it, but I think I'm like negative finally, and I got in at a good price. Let me see, y'all. Let's just look to see what it is. Yeah, I'm negative 10% or 9% on that. So it's at an extreme discount because I bought it at a good price. I know that for a fact, biggity fact. But that's the only one. The XOK is a technology ETF, and I actually was looking at it. So I might do some shopping on Monday if the market continues to be down. One of the reasons why the market was so bad this week is one, the election is coming up, right? So the market is panicking, doesn't know who is going to be president. Doesn't really matter in the long run because the market is going to rebound. But I guess people get nervous. And then also COVID-19 cases surged. I mean, it was like, what? I'm back. It didn't go nowhere. We was acting like it didn't go nowhere. And this is why it's here. I know some countries have been put on lockdown. I don't know if we would because it messes up our economy, and the president don't like the economy doing bad. So I don't know if we'll go on lockdown. It might be left up to the states themselves.
I agree with that. Especially if the incumbent president remains in office, we're not going to have a lockdown. He would probably do what he did before and rely completely on the state, the governors, and then the governors would then roll it down to the mayors and things like that. And if we get into one, I don't know. But then again, anything is possible. So we don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. On to the unemployment numbers. The weekly U.S. job claims fell, which actually brought the 4-week moving average for initial claims down to 70 or 700. Let me look at y'all. Let me get my numbers straight because last video I made an error. I think I corrected myself in that error. So I'm gonna make sure I get these numbers straight as I'm looking at them, okay? So the 4-week moving average for initial U.S. jobs claims was down to 787,000. I'm not gonna go into how many, and we're gonna round it up. Actually, if we're gonna round it up, it's 788,000, and that was that dropped from 812,000. So it's getting down. But I actually do.
Hold on. If we're gonna round up the number from 778, it will be 780.
Oh, we're gonna move it up to the nearest.
You went
to the nearest one. I was just gonna say 788.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah, don't let this go over your head. Don't let this go over your head. Okay.
Skills out there. Go
ahead. Let's see. What else I want to talk about? We're going to keep it moving. Unless you want to talk about the other unemployment numbers.
The unemployment numbers? No, that's sad pity party enough. I think we touched on that, and I told y'all last week it makes me feel down. So I don't want to discuss that because I'm already in the funk, and I don't down no more.
Okay, and she ain't gonna say that no more. So the unemployment numbers are looking better. I wouldn't say they're looking good, but they're looking better. I don't know. Honestly, y'all, I don't really know because a lot of these stores are never coming back. A lot of these major companies, a lot of these restaurants, they're not coming back. Even the major ones, right? These big chains. And so I really don't know if this is a true reflection. Some of these retail stores are never coming back. I tried to go shopping for like a little cheap outfit, and the store that I was going to, I checked in San Francisco. That big old store was down, like it was closed. It was like nothing in it. It had a for rent sign in it. I went to two other ones, and they were both closed. And I'm like, this is actually a popular little retail store, a clothing retail store, and it's gone. So as I start seeing businesses, and this was actually 3 months ago, as I start seeing businesses closing and like closing, I start to think like, well, where are these people's jobs going? Are they done? Have they been transferred to other stores? So I don't know how I feel that the average, that the claims are dropping, but that's just me. Maybe they find jobs elsewhere. I don't know. So the GDP, we have some good news, grew at a 33.1% annual rate in the third quarter. It's the largest change ever recorded. So, I mean, the numbers suggest that we're doing good, right? That we are rebounding. But like we said earlier, there has been a surge in COVID-19 cases. So, and as we're entering into winter, it's going to get real tricky because it's also flu season. And so with COVID-19 giving flu-like symptoms, it's going to be real tricky on to say how, or, do I have COVID or is this just a regular flu, right? And I don't know if employers want to take that risk of having their employees and or their customers or clients be infected with COVID-19. So I don't know if we are going into shutdowns or our businesses are like, come on, come off. We need your money. We need your money. So it'll be real interesting to see what happens in these coming weeks. Now into earnings. It was a very, very, very busy earning week. And so we're going to go over a few of them. And I'll start with Twilio. Twilio beat estimates. Microsoft beat. 3M beat. JetBlue, the airline company, beat. Pfizer, which is a vaccine candidate, I believe, they beat. Boeing beat. And I don't know if that's why, because what they been doing? They make planes. The planes ain't been flying.
Well, look at what it was that Boeing beat. Was this the earnings or was this revenues? This was really earnings?
Okay, well, Boeing top estimates. So I'm gonna need y'all to do a deeper dive and tell us if Boeing beat estimates or if they beat, because the planes ain't been flying. Who ordering planes?
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody's ordering the planes. And a lot of these airlines are actually looking to ship their order shipments into Airbus. The CEO of Boeing actually did an interview this week on CNBC. And when he was grilled by the CNBC correspondents, his thing was, well, it's not like we never had competition before. We always had competition. Oh, pipe down there, little man. What you upset for? Y'all got a plane that can't seem to the MAX can't seem to get it together. That's number one. And then y'all have all this backlog. But my downside with Boeing is that I don't see how they properly manage their capital, because they still have an extremely excessive amount of debt. And with the initial bailout that they got, they didn't do anything with that debt. What y'all doing over
there? They living the life. They ain't worried. Them people is not worried.
And they about to cut. I'm gonna give an approximation because I forget the actual number that the CEO stated, but he did state in his interview that they was about to cut a couple thousand jobs in the next month too. So now y'all gonna be further down with people. Y'all getting now. Why they do have 10 years, they have a decade worth of backlog orders. At any given time, those orders could get retracted. So don't sell me on no woulda coulda.
Okay. They like, yeah, we work. We gonna be working when we can be working. And the whole time, everybody gonna cancel all that.
Exactly. And if the power shifts from the United States to China in the next, over this Cold War that we in right now, I don't know, because the government is really propping up Boeing. But I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just giving my opinion.
This is only our opinion. So again, go ahead and do your research and tell us if Boeing beat EPS, earnings per share estimates. But we're gonna keep it going. So Pinterest, which is a little, I don't know if it's a social media company.
They like to compare them to a social media company, but it's more like a social media vision board.
Okay, a vision board.
It's kind of like a vision board type thing. I love Pinterest, by the way. I love it as a user.
I don't like it as a user. It's a lot going on.
It is a lot going on, but you know, when I'm bored and I'll be looking for ideas, I do like to go on there.
Well, you're not the only one who likes it because they beat. So kudos for Pinterest. And since we're on social media-ish type companies, Facebook beat. However, I think their user growth slowed down this quarter, which is a warning to Facebook, because when you start, when you stop attracting new users, you stop growing. I mean, how they make their money is by marketing. However, you want to market to as many people as you can. So if you have less users, and other social media platforms are gaining users, you better get with something to bring that number back. We'll end it off with Amazon beating. Their revenue was up 37% year over year. As we know, this quarter included Prime Day, which was pushed back. It's usually, I think, in July. So it was pushed back, but it worked for them. And then Google, aka Alphabet, beat by a lot. They beat by $5.05 earnings per share. They killed it. And as you may or may not know, Google also does a lot of advertising. I mean, like, you Google something and whatever you search first, or whatever you search, like, the first thing is probably an ad. Mm-hmm. It'll say ad, which means that company paid to be placed at the top of the list. And it just makes sense for Google to have beat earnings, because we ain't doing nothing but Googling stuff all day, every day, shopping for stuff. I mean, even for like Amazon, right? Like, you can search on Amazon, but how I begin my searches is I search on Google first,
right,
and then go from there.
Yeah, you just get more. You get more results back, and they give you the for it. So you're gonna Google everything, but to also just add on to the earnings, AMD beat earnings. AMD beat earnings, who is part of the semiconductor people, grouping rather, I'll say. They beat the top and the bottom line. Okay. Last week, at one point, Intel, which was one of their major competitors.
Okay, wait. When you say semiconductors, what is that? Because when I first started in this and they kept saying semiconductors, I thought they was talking about like trains and stuff, and train conductors. And so I was like, I don't know what a semiconductor is. I Googled, and I realized they wasn't talking about trains, but I was confused until I Googled.
Okay, so with the semiconductors, it's a large sector. So you have a bunch of different companies, and we probably use them all the time. And basically, just in simple terms, it's like the little microchips that make everything goes in, like the tablets and your laptops and your phones. You got Qualcomm, you got Taiwan Semiconductors, that's their name. You have AMD, you have Intel, you got other companies like HP. A lot of different companies do it, but your more known semiconductor companies are now, which were once upon a time Intel. But Intel, they can't seem to get it together. And every year when they go and do their annual reports, they come out with the same story. It's like, that boyfriend that want to do better. And baby, please, I'm going to do better. I'm going to change, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And then at the end, when you look at the earnings, and then what they actually did, is like, bro, you still did the same thing. You did nothing. You didn't change. You didn't improve. You know what I'm saying? So eventually I gotta leave. That's what I'm gonna do. So with AMD, they brought in well, not just recently, Dr. Lisa Sue
Put some respect on her name.
put some major respect on her name, okay? Because she is a female. And what she did was she took the company of AMD, who at the time was on the brink of bankruptcy, hella debt. The management at the time had no idea what to do. They were still operating on the same levels that they've been for the years before. And they basically were just running off of insanity, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and different results. And that's really what they were doing. So Lisa said, okay, because Lisa actually was already working in the company in 2012, and she escalated her way up to the CEO in 2 years, 2014. See, I tell you something, sidebar from Stockton. You have a determined woman, there ain't nothing or anyone that can stop her. Okay? Men, get you a determined woman. That's a tidbit. All right, back to this. So with Lisa said, okay, we got to change how we do business here. And this is what she did. She said, we still going to make chips for computers, but the future and a good CEO has a vision. And they're not just looking at today. They're not saying, okay, today's Sunday, November 1st, let's focus on today. She's looking at November 1st of 2021, November 1st of 2023, and even further out. That's what you have to do. You have to always look for the long game. The long game. The long game is what's going to get you there. You know, what you do today is going to propel you for tomorrow. The same thing with making a plan as investors, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So Lisa said, the future is going to be in gaming. This new generation is out here now, because at that time, you know, arcades were still kind of booming. The onset of video games was going on, because, you know, you had the Nintendo Wii, I think, was pretty big at that time. Then you had Xbox was out. You still had PlayStation, but you saw the elevation, the number of users growing. So she said, we got to get into gaming chips. We got to do.
And if you paid attention, you've seen a shift in the type of games, right, or the type of consoles, right? LaLa mentioned the Wii, right? You also had Xbox Connect, and those really changed the experience for gamers. It was no longer just, you know. Matter of fact, I got a Nintendo 64 downstairs that I kind of still be playing Mario Kart, you know, little Mario or Party. But that's going way back. But
remember the Game Boys and Nintendo Game Boys? They was like,
no, I remember the Game Boys, and I remember me leaving my clear purple one in a rental car, and my mom taking back the rental car and not telling me. And I never told her about it. I mean, we probably would have went to go pick it up, but I was just like, oh, where's the car? So yes, I do remember the Game Boy. But like I was saying, like you start seeing these Wii's and this Xbox Connect, and it's changing the user experience. You're no longer just sitting on the couch playing a game, holding a stick, right? You're moving, and like it's more interactive. So Dr. Lisa, it was able to see, you know, what gaming was coming to be. But go ahead and continue.
Exactly. So what she did was, now Lisa has a technical engineering background, so that also helped her make sure that she had the right people. But what she was also able to do, not that she went down there and physically built these, you know, the semiconductors themselves, the chips, but she was able to help her team, her smaller teams underneath her, focus on what they needed to focus to and then bubble it up. Now, by her doing that, she just started throwing money into research and development, because this is the first time AMD started really getting into gaming chips on that level. And by her doing that, from 2014 to present, Lisa has grown the value of AMD and the stock price itself, because the stock price is different from the value, people. You hear me? The stock price does not mean that's the value of the business. The value of the business lies in the people who run the business, management, what the business does, because that's where you're going to find their moats, their competitive advantage, their uniqueness, and how well they manage their day. Okay? That's how you find the value of the business. And there's no,
because if you looking at the stock, right? So I'm gonna pull up the stock, and it was red. It was red all week, and you don't want to assume. So it was down like 9.2% this week. You don't want to assume that, oh, it's fallen, that this is a bad company. For the last month, they were down 9.7%. And then for the last 3 months, they're down 4.8%. But you don't want to let that define whether it's a good company or not. You have to do a deeper dive. You have to do a deeper dive because, like we said, in the last week, the COVID-19 numbers have surged, and then the election jitters.
right.
When in October, or we're in November, and September is the worst month for the stock market anyway. So it sometimes is deeper than, oh, the stock is falling. But we're looking at the 5-year, performance. They're up. Let me get the number right, y'all. They're up 3,294% in the last 5 years. Okay.
Okay. So what people see what she's doing, and they can see a good investor is always going to do a deep dive into the business to understand what the business is. Okay. And those people who believe in what she's doing because she's giving them results, she's giving them the goal, she's stating, this is the target I'm gonna do, this is what we did, we beat it, and she's consistent with that. So all they did was they just went and reaped some of their profits, some of their benefits. I'm not mad because I would do the same thing. Heck, I did with my Amazon. You know what I'm saying? I got Amazon at 1,800. It was at 33.
Light flex. That's how we flex. Okay.
When my full position, I'll never do that. I'll never liquidate my full position at Amazon. But you're right. I'm going to take some off the top. I'm no elephant, so I ain't make the stock price drop down to 3,000, y'all. That wasn't me. I ain't had nothing to do with that. But you know what I'm saying? I did. I took a little cream off the top and put the funds someplace else. The same thing that's going to happen with solid businesses. That's what's going to happen. Businesses that consistently have a downtrend, those are the ones you don't invest in. Because if you look at AMD over the long haul, it's still an upward trend, even with those dips that we've been seeing in the last couple of days. And truth be told, not a bad time to get in AMD. But I am not your financial advisor, okay? So you make sure you do your research. Don't buy nothing that I say, nothing without researching it. And on that, Lisa is a great CEO. And I look forward to her growing AMD because I'm waiting for my price. As soon as it gets to my price point, that's why I shaded Amazon, because I'm gonna load up.
And you'll see, and y'all will also see when people within a company, like the executives, sometimes they do take the profits. They do sell their shares too. And why not? If it's at an all-time high, or if it's high, yeah, well, I made a couple of dollars in my pockets. But it doesn't necessarily mean there's something, going on internally. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It could when you see the CEO taking a whole bunch and when they're liquidating like a big portion of their shares. But I mean, if you see a few thousand and they got like, I don't know, several 100,000, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Just
But your CEO should be invested in the business that they're running, right? Because it just makes sense that if they're the person that's the leader of the ship, of the company, why wouldn't they own it? You know what I'm saying? So them not owning it or them having far less than other people shows they don't believe in the business. And that's actually one of the reasons why I didn't invest in Peloton. Because when I first looked at it, now I haven't looked at it in the last 2 months, so I don't know if anything. Now the founder still owns, he's still the CEO of Peloton, but he didn't have anything invested in it. And I'm like, that didn't sit right in my spirit.
Mm-mm.
Left it alone. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that for anyone who does own Peloton. You know what I mean? Because, to each his own. But we just talked about a great CEO. So now we're going to talk about a shady business, the Womp Womp. Okay? The Womp Womp of the week is Nordstrom.
It's
Nordstrom.
who?
Nordstrom.
Oh, Nordstrom.
Nordstrom was flirting with bankruptcy back at the onset of COVID. And what they did was in April, they sent an email out to their furloughed employees and they advised those employees, we believe in you. And with this health pandemic, we're going to provide you guys and continue on with your health coverage. That was nice of them to do.
Yeah, that was.
And they still want to continue. So now, fast forward to September. They've started to reopen some of their stores. As the employees came back to work, come Friday, where they pay? They ain't getting a check.
Huh?
So ring-a-ling-a-lingy, hello? Hello? Human Services, where my check? Oh, we kept your check because you have to pay back your health care premiums. Say what now? I gotta pay back my health premiums.
Scam alert. You got me.
Eric and Robert Nordstrom's in April said specifically, and an employee forwarded the said email to a journalist. So they have the black and white, they have the receipts, child. They say, we will continue your health coverage and pay for your premiums. And now y'all want to backpedal on that and keep.
Wow, wait,
so that they have.
You didn't tell me that? You ain't tell me that before I worked 40 hours or I don't know how many hours, but you ain't tell me that. You tell me that when I'm expecting a check after I done told my people that I was gonna pay them back.
Shady boots. So they really didn't provide shit. The people still had to pay. Girl. They took me out for the week. I said, okay, I'm done. I'm done for the week.
Where I'm from, we would say they psyched out. They psyched out. You not. Oh my goodness. So you know what? It looks like Nordstrom's is still down 66% in this past year. They haven't rebounded in no way, shape, or form. 66%. In the last month, they were up 2%, but 3 months they're still down 11.34%. In the past year, they haven't recovered from the fall of March lows. They actually probably are at the March lows. It's not funny, but when you play with people's money like that, you get what you deserve. You don't do that. You don't do that.
That's a hot mess. And before I end, I just want to give a clarification. So it actually, Booty Boeing actually did beat their revenues by 0.94%. How that happened, I don't know. Probably the government sales. That's what I'm gonna put on. So it was actually the earnings that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Okay, Bowen. I see you. Maybe some of those investments paid off. But let me go ahead and close this up. We gonna slow this bad boy up for this week. I don't know. I might feel like hopping back on midweek or something. Give y'all a little El Special. So I might save what I gotta say until then. Because I felt some type of way about this company. I felt great about this company, but I felt some type of way about the news of this company this week. So I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna just say that. And we're gonna close this up with the companies that missed. Eli Lilly, I think they're a pharmaceutical company, right?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they missed. MasterCard missed. Six Flags missed. I mean, they have theme parks, like ain't none of them open. Disney ain't open, so Six Flags ain't opening up. Okay. And Teladoc Health, they missed. And if you are following Teladoc, they just bought out, they just happened, Livongo. Yep. And Teladoc is a telehealth company. I believe you could, see physicians online. So I'm assuming they missed because they've been reinvesting their profits. I don't know. I didn't read into their earnings, but I'm going to assume that's why they missed. And they also, again, just purchased Livongo. And so that probably took a big chunk of money out their pockets. But I own Teladoc, so I'm looking forward to the future of health. But yeah, that's what we're gonna give y'all this week. Again, I might have back on this bad boy sometime this week to give my little spiel on a little company. Hopefully they don't talk about it in the market, because what I want to do was talk about it because no one else is talking about it. That changed this week, and I felt like CNBC was reading my mind. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But okay, whatever. I'm gonna let them have that, and I might pop back in later. But this concludes Market Bullies. Please, when you review this, you go back and you leave us a comment, whether it's good or bad. Just be nice, because I can't come see about y'all because I don't know where y'all at. And so don't talk mess on these. Don't be Twitter fingers, okay? YouTube fingers, because it ain't no point. I don't know. We might remove disrespectful, ugly comments. We could take criticism. Just be respectful, okay? But we love the love that we've been receiving. I know there was a comment to asking us, can we show how to buy a contract and or buy some stock? We'll get there. Contracts is options are a whole nother beast that we're just really learning. So I don't want to, or we don't want to overwhelm everybody with things like that, because let me tell you, when I say I'm just learning, I'm only like 3 months into two options. So
y'all have to understand how to learn how to fundamentally assess a business. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't tell me who the CEO, CFO, COO, how the business make the money, what they've been doing the last couple of years. Don't come ask me nothing about nothing or no option. Okay.
Nothing. And I'm just gonna close out like this. LaLa said when she was talking about the CEO of AMD that the CEO was able to understand something and teach it to her team and allow her team to see it. That's exactly what we want to do here on Market Bullies. We want to be able to understand and then digest it, and then have y'all see the same vision that we see. So maybe, hopefully, we gonna do that. We gonna continue doing that. And again, if you don't like something that we said, or we can do something better, please leave it in the comments, share this video, and we will see you midweek, maybe.
Oh, Kel's gonna give you a treatment with maybe. Okay, maybe. She said maybe.
Hey man, I've been off work for a week, and I'm going back tomorrow. So we gonna see, because I might not be in a mood, but maybe I will.
All right. Thank you. And again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and check out TBD. What TBD?
And wealth. Come on, I know you got a lot going on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. You see, I was just drinking my coffee because I ran out of creamer. I had to go. Oh, I'll give y'all a tidbit on Dunkin'. Dunkin' is in talks to be bought out by Inspire Brands. Now I own Dunkin'. I prefer them over that other place. And their stock shot up.
It ran.
Oh,
It
oh,
ran.
I was happy because I shared some of that too. As soon as it ran up, I said, "Oh,
And when we say bought out, they're not being bought out by another publicly traded company. They're being bought out by a private company. So
my private company, Inspire Brands. Inspire Brands owns Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh my God, I think
they own another one. It's
Arby's.
yeah, something totally different. Like what?
It is a private company, but what this will do is this will bring in the breakfast line to Inspire Brands. So they'll be well rounded out with the breakfast line, lunch, dinner. They also have like a little, it's another, like some type of snack or something that they have. And eventually I could see Aspire going public. So if you don't know about Aspire Brands, go check it out. And if you are a current owner of the Dunkin' brand stock, don't worry, relax, because you will get a proxy notification that we will have to vote on to agree on this. If you don't like it, you vote no. If you like it, you vote yes. And if you do currently have it, doesn't mean that your value of your stock is going to go down. You're still going to get your break. So relax. Okay? All right. And
All
on
right.
that, thank y'all.
That's it. That's all. Bye.
Bye.